What is up, everyone? It is MetroGame75. Here today we're playing the Futanari of the Apocalypse. Here we go. Alright. So this is pretty much an apocalypse. At least it's different than the ones I do. Alright, let's get started. Oh my god, look at this whole place. Fuck, I said to myself while pasting the lid on the garbage bin, silently on the floor. There were a couple of zombies around, and I tried to be as quiet as I could. These motherfuckers are very perceptive. I sank my hands deep into the trash, pulling out pieces of old newspaper, rotten food, and other crap. I became used to the foul smell since I've been searching in the garbage for years now. The hardest part was doing this quietly, and I would be very lucky if I found a canned tuna or something like that. My stomach was starting to make weird noises. After the nuclear war, the whole world went to shit. Everything was destroyed, and I could hear the nuclear warheads land on the ground close by. As I frantically searched for shelter in the subway, and the damn subway was crammed full of people. War kept escalating until there was practically nobody alive anymore. And only those ridiculous powerful who led the war got their pick of private shelters with luxuries as shit. And as the rest of the world burned in radiation and massive explosions, I found myself sheltered by a merry luck while running in the city escaping from the explosions. Taking refuge deep in the city sewers, I was out of harm's way when the big one hit. The radiation didn't reach me, and I stayed underground for weeks, hunting rats until there was nothing but silence. When I emerged from the ground to search for food and a better place, I noticed people would drift walking on the streets, and I could immediately sense something was wrong. Then I started calling for them, and they all turned to see me and started running towards me. As the crowd came closer, I realized their skin was all burned, peeling off their faces. Their clothes were all torn, and they were missing body parts. The worst part, they looked at me with desire. I started running away when I noticed they weren't not silent, not alive, and I ran as fast as I could, until I got to the roof of the house by jumping on a fence to reach it. Fortunately, they couldn't reach me there. They were all zombies, and I've never been so desired by anybody as I was at the moment. I guess I had to see the funny side in it. I slept on that roof for days until the zombies heard a loud bang in the distance and followed it. My name is MetroGame75. I'm a 21-year-old lucky bastard who survived the apocalypse and the zombies. Because I'm too stupid and scared to even risk myself, I'm not athletic and I have very little muscle tone. I'm slightly below average height, and I've never been with a woman. Dying as a virgin is my greatest fear. Getting eaten alive, being close second, of course. But I am proud of all the manga and comics knowledge I have gathered through my life. The reading the Walking Dead comics has given me pretty good insights about what not to do when you're dealing with zombies. No risk to yourself. That includes saving the hot chicken trouble. Avoid zombies and avoid survivors at all costs. Those are the worst. Don't be greedy. Don't stay in one place for too long. Don't do stupid shit that might put your shelter in jeopardy. Travel light. Following my rules, I started living like a rat, searching in the garbage and hiding in high, unreachable places. Most survivors have turned into zombies, and the ones who didn't turn are killing themselves off. I realized some of the survivors were affected by the radiation. Some had 3 arms. Some other grew hair everywhere. Some other just lost body parts. It was nothing like in the comics. The radiation affected people different ways. And there I was, a couple of years after the apocalypse, in the corner of the intersection between 4th and 5th Avenue of a completely ruined city, searching for food and trash and about to mess things up. Buildings were old, and nature was also taking over some places. It was weird. It was a weird mixture between abandoned places and ruins. It was weird seeing the latest model cars abandoned in the street with their trunks destroyed and parts torn apart. While rummaging through that garbage bin, I spotted a can of beans way at the bottom. It appeared to be sealed, and in my excitement, I accidentally knock over the bin as I lean in eagerly. Oh shit! As I look up, the quiet intersection started growing restless as zombies poured out every nook and cranny. The front runners had their sights on me, and the group was sure to follow. Wasting no time, I grabbed the bin's lid, thinking I could use it to protect myself, and I started running away. I heard the zombies making noises behind me, getting louder each second. I ran as fast as I could, for as long as possible, but those motherfuckers were relentless. More zombies joined the marathon as I ran down the avenue, herded them like a sheep. I thought about hiding in the ruins, but I was afraid more zombies would be inside the buildings. I was getting tired and my options were limited. My speed started decreasing and any hope started dwindling away. I knew there was no way I could get out of this mess alive. All thanks to the goddamn can of beans. In the last ditch effort, I decided to crawl beneath one of the cars. I planned the whole thing. I would get inside and cover that opening with the lid. I wait until they go. In my head, it seemed like the perfect idea. In practice, not so much. I tripped over a stupid rock and lost the lid. I stood as fast as I could, and as I slid beneath the car, scraping my elbows. Now I was sore, bleeding, breathless, and about to die. I watched the zombie gather around the car, trying to reach me, clawing at my feet. I started crying as I curled up in the fetal position. That was it. It was all lost, all the efforts I did to survive. All the time spent searching in the garbage for food, batteries, anything that could help me survive. All the roofs I visited to stay away from the zombies' reach, and places I made my private shelters. Everything I went through only for it to end like this. I was going to die. There was no way around me to even care. I did nothing in my life. I didn't even help anyone, not even myself. And it all went through my head like a movie. I replayed the most embarrassing moments of my life, like that one time Gracie, my crush from high school, caught me to Ray and Yana's hentai pictures and started laughing at me. Because Gracie was laughing at me, that's exactly what I needed in my last moments. I closed my eyes and I said my prayers, wavy like a baby with snot bubbling at my nostrils. Then out of nowhere, I heard a sudden barrage of gunshots started to ring out. I never heard so many gunshots in my life. For a moment, I thought there was an army outside. I peeked beneath the car and I could see zombies falling on the ground. Their entrails splattered across the street. As the zombies were torn to shreds, I wiped my snotty nose but kept crying. Only now they were tears of joy. After what seemed like a minute, the shots ran quiet, and not a single zombie was left to groan over my tempting meat. That's when it hit me. What if these people were dangerous? I decided to remain beneath the car until the shooters were gone. I heard heavy footsteps approaching the car and stayed as quiet as possible, subduing my labored breaths, and clenching my eyes shut as I prayed once more. The footsteps grew ever closer until they reached a halt right next to the car. Suddenly I heard people chuckling and it sounded like a woman. I stabbed my eyes open and found two pairs of military badass boots in front of the car. Then one of the voices called out, "Come on out." It was surprisingly deep, but still feminine. I remained silent, pretending not to be there. Chuckles again. "Are you coming out or not?" Maybe he peed in his pants. He was too embarrassed to come out. "What, yo?" "I think he's just a little shy." I blushed. They knew I was there. They knew I was a guy, and they knew I was deeply scared. Okay. Stretching my legs and arms slowly crawled out. Suddenly they started laughing at me as I crept out, shivering like a scared dog. Then as I lifted my head, a hand reached out. Careful not to insult, I reached back and grabbed hold onto it. It was a strong, very strong, so strong in fact it almost crushed my hand. It helped me with such vigor that I was flung to my feet. And as I saw her face, I was even more impressed by her beauty. She was unlike any woman I'd ever seen before. Drop-dead gorgeous, blonde, sporting military attire and wielding an AK-47 like she was born to do it. She must have been 6'3" and had a body of a Greek goddess. Then her friend, every part of her equal, stepped into the frame. dangerously hot redhead. Whoa. Careful now, you might swallow a fly. Quickly shut my mouth and swallow the lump in my throat. Are you okay? Did they bite you? Intimidated beyond belief, I was only able to muster up a timid nod. I must be ridiculously small, or these girls are ridiculously tall. They tower over me. And I felt like a little kid in comparison. I think so. That's okay, we'll check you out when we reach a safe area. The blonde reached out with a cute smile on her face. I'm Celestia and this is Ruby. I reached back. I'm Metro Game 75. The man. Celestia wrapped her fingers around my hand and squeezed so hard. I thought she would break it. I ended up saying my name in the grunts. Growling voices echoed in the distance. Celestia shouldered her weapon. We have to go. Come on. The pair headed out with lethal intent, methodically surveying the area. I still didn't know if I could trust them and remain frozen in the place. Looking back over her shoulder, Ruby noticed that I hadn't budged and attempted to bait me in. You coming? We've got tuna. My stomach started growling again. And after weighing my options, I threw caution to the wind for the promise of a proper meal. Stay behind me. They were amazing, and the more they showed me their skills, the more I felt intimidated by them. In here, Celestia slipped between one of the buildings, followed by an alert Ruby. And of course my cowardice as was quick on their heels. They were going to secure the interior. Clear. The place was easily lit, while being relatively well secluded, and the main structure seems intact. Is this your shelter? No, this is a safe zone. We can't go to our shelter yet. We'll wait here till it's safe to proceed. I took a deep breath in and put my nerves at ease. So did you girls survive the radiation? I've seen some people deform because of it. You know, like extra ears and fingers. They just stared back at me blankly. Right, silly question. Well, I guess the blast affected everyone in some ways or another. Life has never been the same for us since the explosion. Their deep voices reverberated into space. I was reminded of their deep voices, deeper than is typical of women. Suddenly, Ruby moved closer to me. We should check you for scratches or bites, just in case. Then she turned my arm and studied every inch. I'm feeling fine so far. I don't think they got me. Celestia started curiously as Ruby examined my neck, then my face, then my scalp. She returned to my arm, checking my hands. To have such delicate hands is kind of cute. Ruby looked over Celestia with a smirk painted across her face. Thanks. You smell good. Thanks. What? I smell good? She ran her fingers across my head, caressing my hair before moving down, whispered, and your cheeks are so soft. Such a cute boy. What? Have I been open with you, Metro 75? The radiation, it did change us. It makes us so hungry, so need for pleasure, for satisfaction. No fucking way. Things are starting to escalate at an alarming pace. And that's when I got the surprise of a lifetime. Well, that's the end, everyone. Well, so thank you guys for watching this video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Now see you guys in the next one.